I think I remember this.
This is my recreation of the first grandma design that I ever did a year and a half ago.
Wow. Of course, in doing it, you find that you have your own bits of talent. And so you start to incorporate some of that into the design that inspired you initially, but now you can put your own touch on it. I think that's one of the greatest things. And that's one of the things I love about what you're doing with your designs. So keep it up. Oh, my sweetheart. Good work. Good work.
This is the longest project that I have ever worked on, not because it's the hardest project I've ever worked on, but because I wanted to create it for our 1-year anniversary of me making grandma designs. It was at a time where I was starting to get a lot of negative feedback on my videos. People were saying they didn't like what I was doing and that I was ruining your designs. And although I knew that that was just people being negative, I still got kind of self-conscious about my work. And so I stopped this project, and then I would start working on it, and I would not like what I was doing, and I would take it all apart, and I would start it again and then take it all apart. About a month ago, I decided I'm just going to finish it. And I'm just going to put it on.
I am so glad you made that decision, because first of all, I've always liked the fact that you looked at the design, something appealed to you, and you had some of your own ideas about the materials that you could work with that were, like you say, that you thrifted. And so to me, the fact that you would take parts of the design but still incorporate some of your ideas, that was very, very good. Because you don't have to follow an exact design. So those people who felt very strongly about they wanted it to look exactly, I think that they have to sort of step back and think about some of the other aspects of what you're trying to help people to see and to be able to do. Many designers look at other people's designs and then create something having looked at the other designers with a different touch to it. But that was their inspiration. And that's a wonderful thing to have. That's part of seeing things with another set of eyes. And that's very good.
Yeah, I think it was.
I'm glad that you allowed yourself to go through that and understand that, well, they had their thoughts about it, but that wasn't necessarily the end of that story, because this is wonderful. It's quite wonderful. And this is your first design. That was a lot of hard work. You picked something that wasn't exactly an easy design, my dear.
No, when I first made the design, the first grandma design, I think when I posted a picture or something, and I put in the caption, I said, I'm sure a year from now I'm going to look back and think it was awful, but I'm really proud of myself right now.
Yes.
And I do look back at that dress and I go, oh, that's not my best work.
Well, but what it does tell you, though, when you do look at it and think about it, look at how well you have, how each thing has helped you to advance and advance. You learned more about your sewing machine, more about the hand sewing, more about how to use certain fabrics a certain way.
Yeah.
All of these things come into play with people who do enjoy this thing called fashion.
Wanted to recreate this to show people how much you can grow, because people who, if they're into fashion, they probably know I'm self-taught. You can probably see that in my videos, that from a technical aspect, I'm not the best sewist, but I think that people can see growth. I think that people can see change, and considering I've only been sewing now for 2 years, that's
I think that's a lot of advancement in a short time. And I think that gives people encouragement not to give up. Don't give up. If it's something you love, keep working at it, because you get better as you do things. I'm sure when I look at the things that I drew in grade school, they don't look exactly like what I did later. Mother was encouraging. She thought those things I did in grade school were wonderful. And when I look at them, I go, okay, maybe. To a mother, yes. To the one that drew it, maybe not so much.
You started drawing, I believe it was because you were a child and you were home a lot because you were sick.
Yes, I was.
For a good amount of your childhood.
Yes.
And so your family, as you kind of told me, your family didn't have a lot of money.
True.
But if you got some nice crayons or some nice colored pencils.
Oh, crayons. Yes, new crayons. Oh, goodness. And a coloring book. But then when my mother said, but you haven't colored all of the pictures, and I said, I don't like those particular designs. But you still have empty pages, because I think because of the money aspect, they felt that if I were, at least I had something to play with.
Yeah, but I definitely think that you sort of evolved over your time. But even from a young age, you could see in your earliest drawings from when you were a kid that there was still that creative spirit that was coming out. Yes. And then that came out later into your drawings. I made the jacket detachable. So I put little hook and eye closures right in here.
It's a wonderful idea.
We're into having more of a strapless look. I think this could be applied to prom dresses if you're doing a custom look or you're sewing your own prom dress.
True enough.
I think this could be applied to weddings. If you wanted maybe a shawl or your shoulders covered for the ceremony in a church, if that's part of your religious requirements or just something you're personally into. And then for the reception or the party afterwards or photos, whatever you're doing, then you could take off the jacket and you could have a strapless look in the warmer weather.
In the dancing area.
In the dancing area.
I think you have 100% correct on that. I like the colors of that.
Thank you. It's all repurposed fabric. As you know, that's kind of my thing. That's what I like to do. Could it maybe look better if I used all new, very expensive fabric? Maybe it could look better. But I really like repurposing fabric, so I wanted to stay true to my values in the recreation of this grandma design.
Very good.
This was a $20 dress that I found at Wings. This was pink fabric. I've used this fabric in a ball gown. My least favorite design was that weird octopus looking ball gown I made last August. I used the pink fabric in that, and I used the pink fabric in a design that was in New York Fashion Week. So this has been repurposed fabric many times, but it's still pretty, and I think it still works.
It's doing a good job of keeping up its good work.
Thank you very much.